Betrayal has always been one of humanity's sharpest wounds. It cuts not only because of the act itself, but because it undermines the very foundation of trust, the invisible bond that holds relationships together. In the past, betrayal was carried in whispers, hidden meetings, or broken promises spoken aloud. Today, however, it often arrives on screens, delivered through messages, secret accounts, or subtle digital deceptions. Modern betrayal feels particularly heavy because it lingers. Technology does not forget. A message or image once discovered can be replayed endlessly, reopening the wound with every glance. In such a world, how can one protect their peace, their dignity, their spirit? The Stoics remind us that betrayal, like every other external event, belongs to the realm beyond our control. Epictetus taught that it is not events that disturb us, but the judgments we form about them. The disloyal act, the false words, the digital trail left behind, these things we cannot govern. What we can govern is our response. Marcus Aurelius, the man one, remember what lies within your control. Epictetus taught that some things are in. This destroys me, then indeed it does. But if we say, this tests me, then erase this is not denial, it is discipline. The Stoics never asked us to pretend that wounds do not hurt. They asked us to recognize that pain itself is one thing, and the multiplying of pain through our interpretation is another. A message discovered may cause sharp sorrow, but when we feed it with endless rumination, replaying every detail in our minds, we surrender our sovereignty. We give the betrayer victory twice, once through their act, and again through our enslavement to memory. Imagine a sailor caught in a storm. The waves rise beyond his command. He cannot tame the sea. But he can grip the helm, adjust the sails, and navigate with what strength remains his. Cheating too. See betrayal as a reflection of others, not of yourself. The deepest wound of betrayal often comes not from the act itself, but from the lies we begin to tell ourselves afterward. I was not enough. I was a fool. I should have seen it coming. Yet the Stoics, when I first endured betrayal in the digital realm, the humiliation felt unbearable. I asked myself over and over what I lacked, why I was not enough. But this line of thought was poison. It chained me to another's failing. In time, I came to see that their act was theirs, and mine was to decide whether to let it define me. A betrayal uncovers a weakness in character. Theirs, not ours. If one chooses disloyalty, it is they who must live with dishonor. If one chooses deceit, it is they who must face the corrosion of their own soul. The wise person does not drink the poison meant for another. Think of Socrates, condemned unjustly, betrayed by the very city he had served with wisdom. Did he say, I must be worthless, since Athens has turned against me? Well, he recognized that injustice reflects the unjust, not the victim. Betrayal is a mirror, but it reflects only the betrayer's face. To see this clearly is to reclaim your dignity from the hands of those unworthy to hold it. 3. Transform pain into discipline. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. This is one of the most radical teachings of the Stoics, and one of the most liberating. Betrayal hurts. It would be inhuman to deny this. Yet what we do with that hurt determines whether it becomes a lifelong wound or a stepping stone toward greater strength. The Stoics did not suppress pain. They transmuted it. They asked, how can this trial make me stronger, wiser, more disciplined? In practical terms, this means resisting the urge to lash out in anger or to drown in bitterness. It means withdrawing attention from the endless scroll of reminders that technology offers. and instead directing energy inward. When betrayed, I found myself tempted to replay every detail, to track, to question, to prove. But this only chained me tighter to the one who wronged me. When instead I turned to journaling, gratitude practice, and moments of silence, I discovered that pain could be reshaped into focus. Gratitude reminded me of what betrayal had not taken. The strainer. Discipline is not the denial of hurt. 4. Build the inner citadel. Perhaps the greatest gift the Stoics give us is the vision of the inner citadel. The citadel is built through daily practice. Each act of discipline, choosing silence over rage, gratitude over resentment, clarity over obsession, lays another stone in its walls. Over time, this fortress grows stronger, until no betrayal, however sharp, can topple it. When I chose to withdraw from constant digital reminders and turn instead to philosophy, to nature, to stillness, I found that the citadel within me began to take shape. Slowly, the sting of betrayal became less about them and more about me, about how I chose to respond, about the dignity I wished to carry forward. The world is uncertain. People will falter. Loyalty will sometimes collapse. But the citadel is yours. The strength of your spirit, the discipline of your mind, the integrity of your choices. These cannot be stolen unless you surrender them. To build the citadel is to rise above betrayal, not by denying it happened, but by refusing to let it rule you. It is to stand unbroken, knowing that while the world may deceive, your spirit remains unconquered. Betrayal, whether ancient or digital, will always wound. But it does not have to define you. Do not surrender twice, once to their disloyalty and again to your own resentment. Instead, rise with discipline. Guard your peace. Build your citadel. Let betrayal remind you not of your weakness, but of your strength. Choose to reclaim your mind from rumination, your heart from anger, and your spirit from bitterness. Practice gratitude for what remains, silence for clarity, and reflection for wisdom. Let every act of discipline, every refusal to dwell on resentment, strengthen the fortress within. When betrayal finds you again, you will stand unshaken, guided by reason, anchored in virtue, and empowered by the certainty that your peace is yours alone. The next time betrayal finds you, through a message, a secret, or a false promise, pause and ask yourself, will I let this moment break me, or will I use it to strengthen the fortress within?